Howdy folks, this is my 1979 Ford L9000 and I found this for sale. It was a couple hours away and these are just a few of the pictures I saw on the listing. Not very much information at all. It did not run, I knew that, and I knew it had been sitting a long time. So I just packed all my tools up and went down there and showed up in the dark, and batteries were dead in it. I couldn't really see anything well. So just to stay on the safe side, I just went ahead and bought it. And next morning I got some batteries in it and started, figuring things out. And this is a big cam Cummins with a PT fuel pump. So I had to pull that off and get all that cleaned up because there was stuff that was stuck in there, wouldn't allow it to prime. So after I got all that taken apart and put back together, got it running, and that was a big accomplishment after sitting for that long. And it was about 10 degrees when I was doing all this. After getting the truck on level ground, swapped out a few brake canisters and things that we had to do before driving the truck home. I scrubbed all the moss off of it there just so it didn't look like what it was going home, and got some temporary lights on the back. And about 3.5 hours later, made it home in one piece. And I was trying to figure out what to do with this truck, and just everything was shot on this truck. Wheel seals, the brake pads, the cam bushings, the leaf springs were cracked. It was all just a mess. And then it needed tires, and they were tube tires. So I just got rid of everything, took it right down to the frame, and just took all this stuff to the scrapyard. And so after I got all this stuff cleaned up, I took axles out of a 2005 Volvo out. And so these are air ride axles, which will be a big upgrade. And so I went ahead and got those under the truck and started getting things lined up. Just wanted to make sure everything was square so the truck would go down the road straight. I was able to place the axles so that I didn't need to get a new drive shaft made. All I had to do was get a new yoke on the axles and then just get the correct U-joint to adapt between the two. So all that went fairly smoothly, and it was just nice so I could actually see the truck move on the new axles. And then got the lights hooked up and that sort of thing. And then at this point I could kind of figure out if this truck would work for what I wanted to do. And clearly at this point I could see that this truck was going to work good for me. So then I continued on with the rest of the project. Got the rest of the lights hooked up and working, and then I had to replace a few different things like that. I just gave it a real thorough wash and got all that moss off, and it really is starting to look pretty good. After sitting for that many years, it had a lot of moss and dirt on it. It took quite a bit of effort to get off, but I'm pretty happy with how it's looking now. And so I got tires I'm putting on it now, and still a few different small things, but it's coming along pretty good. So I'm looking forward to getting this truck put back together and get some trailers behind it and put this thing back to work.